Hello everyone, welcome to FarreeMakes. Today I'll be making a pickled scotch bonnet pepper. So the scotch bonnet is a pepper that's frequently used in Caribbean cooking. It's in stews, curries, and anything in between. So first I want to start off by saying that these peppers are hot. So you want to make sure that you can control the contact that it has with your skin and surfaces, and by doing so you're going to put on some food safety gloves, and I'll be covering my chopping board with some cling wrap to prevent any of the pepper from touching the actual chopping board. Okay, so once you have that secured, you have your gloves on, it's time to get started. So I have some white vinegar, some warm water, some fine sea salt, and some cane sugar. I also have some garlic cloves, about 4 of them, and our scotch bonnets. I also have a cute little clasp jar to put everything in. So first I'm going to start by putting my garlic cloves into the jar. This one was a little big, so I'm just going to cut that up a little bit, and that can kind of start getting that garlicky flavor into the brine when we add it. Okay, speaking of brine, time to make it. We have the warm water, and I'm going to add equal parts of the sea salt and sugar. I don't have exact measurements, but I will kind of estimate them and put them in the description box so that it's an easier recipe. So to that, I will be adding the same amount of vinegar as I did with water. Okay, and then you just stir this up until the sugar and the salt have dissolved into the liquid. And that is the brine. It's pretty easy, straightforward, and very simple to make and maintain. So I'm just stirring this up here, and once I see that the sugar and salt crystals have dissolved, I put that to the side, and it's time to deal with the reason why we're all here, the scotch bonnet. So as you can see, as you cut it open, it's similar to any other pepper. You have the portion with all the seeds that you can remove. If you want it super spicy, you can leave the seeds in. I find that doing a mix is a good enough recipe for me. So I take out some with the seeds and I cut my pepper into slivers. You can cut them in any way you want. You can dice them, you can mince them, whatever you feel. I just know that when I'm cooking, mainly I like to take a sliver out and add it to my stewed beef or my curry. So I like to cut mine in slivers. So the process is pretty simple. Once you have your gloves on and you covered your surface, you're pretty good to go. You don't have to worry about much transfer of this, because if you touch this with your hands and then touch any other part or anything else, that pepper will be there and you will feel it. So please heed caution, everyone. So I've cut them into strips here, and I have my little trash section that I just transfer everything over to and set that aside. All right, and now it's time to pack it in. So I just take my peppers and stuff them in the jar. There's no rhyme or reason to this. It's as many that can fit into the jar. Reason being, when you pour the brining liquid, the cell structure of the pepper will start to soften and kind of get looser, and they'll settle into the jar. So pack as much as you can in there, because the more the merrier, and it's going to be delicious. So now I'm just going to take my brine, pour it to the jars, peppers in the jars, sorry. And then we just want to make sure that the brine is covering the peppers. So you pour as much as you can, and over time you can kind of top it off if you see that some of the peppers are poking out up top. You have to make sure that these peppers are submerged, so that way the brining process actually is effective. All right, so that's it there. And just really quickly, I'm showing you what I did with the leftovers. These I'm going to gift to a friend, so I needed to buy more little jars. In the meantime, I just put everything in a sandwich baggie and then just transferred it to a disposable, like a transfer cup, so that it can keep its structure, and put that in the fridge as well. And cleanup here is super simple. I took off my gloves, I have my cling wrap off the board, and everything is in the trash. So that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody.